Right, you're watching the review show of Hot Stocks. Okay, so Mark, that was last week. We've talked about where the portfolio is, but the chart you've got to show us now talks about the way that the ALSI40 has been moving and the Rand's been moving. And your concern is, I think, that there's been a bit of a breakdown in what is normally a fairly reliable relationship. Just take us through that.
I mean, over the last 2 weeks or so, Rand hedges basically are not working.
They are not working.
No, the Rand they're broken. Something's there's a disconnect. The chart demonstrates.
This is a bit of a problem, isn't it?
Can be a bit of a problem. With the Rand weakening, shares are not going up, and vice versa. So there is some disconnect, and the chart demonstrates that, and something is not happening.
And by the Rand hedges, you mean the big cap Rand hedges that drive the ALSI40, like British America Tobacco, Sasol, Richemont, Naspers, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, so much of the earnings from in our companies. I mean, we are basically we have a foreign index on our doorstep as such.
Because it's not just the earnings; it's also the fact that these prices are typically made in foreign markets. That's and correct. Then retranslated here as a function of the exchange rate.
And it's not from a doom and gloom point of view either. It's just there is something's off kilter at the moment.
Okay, so what that reflects is that it's, if anything, just a less certain world right now than normally is the case.
Yeah, I mean, it can indicate one of two things. It can indicate that somebody's or rather financial markets are now saying either the Rand is undervalued or our market is overvalued, but not both at the same time, if you know what I mean, which is a very, very strange kind of setup to have.
So how do we mitigate against this strange setup, or haven't you come up with a solution yet because it's so strange?
It's very, very difficult because, I mean, you can't, you're looking at situations now where the market, because there's a mispricing or in essence a kind of arbitrage situation as such, one is forced into taking the view, quite a strong view on where the Rand is going to be over the next few weeks. With the recent surprise BOP numbers that we had recently on the upside, we were quite pleasantly surprised with that. Market seems to be, the Rand market seems to be, US dollar ZAR seems to be top-siding. We seem to know where we're sitting there. But the issue then becomes earnings in Rand hedge shares. If the Rand is going to appreciate, those earnings are going to come off and come off quite materially. So that kind of indicates the fact that the index might be a little bit overpriced in the medium term.
But you're not going to be too concerned about that?
No, like my plan and from a trading point of view is to ignore all of this. I mean, it's very interesting to talk about it. But I noticed
sorry for you, Mark.
But all your good earnings in these companies come from a depreciated Rand.
No, look, my sense would be the currency is going to kind of hold its current levels, because it's not as though the emerging market dramas have gone away. Brazil has still got its issues. Ukraine has still got its issues. Turkey has still got its issues. We've got our own issues. So having said that, I don't expect currencies to balloon out too terribly, because some of the hysteria of January is sort of, in my world anyway, past. So I'm kind of Rand neutral as I approach what we own. But in any event, it takes a while for those reports to get reported, not so? Those results to get reported.
I think the net effect of this is that it makes us even more closely attached to the EM story over the next few weeks and what emerges there. Because if we know the Rand is going to be banded and we know our kind of income stream potentially is going to be banded, we're going to track the perception of EM. We're going to track the impact of currencies against the Rand, which is a principal EM traded pair. So we're going to kind of track EM news headlines very, very carefully. That would be the prediction.
All right, but he's still going to ignore
helpful.
it.
No, it is.
It is helpful there.
No, we will, because we've got a number of key stocks in there that would be very much in view with regard to this thing. So, there's British American Tobacco in our portfolio, there's Richemont, there's MTN, there's Sasol, all the ones we're talking about.